Hey there. Are you ready to listen to a story your own mind has written? A story of questions without answers. A story of nights without sleep. A story of wounds that no one can see, but you feel them every day. The brain under overthinking is heavy, tired even before the body moves. It races in circles, burning energy without rest. Thoughts collide like traffic, clogging every clear road. It releases stress. That poisons the sleep. That shakes the mood. That weakens the body. But the brain without overthinking is light. It breathes in silence. It chooses one thought, then rests. It holds clarity, like water that is calm. It guides you gently, not by fear, but by focus. Now imagine this. You are scrolling, again and again, post after post, unnoticed from the outside, but inside, your brain reacts to every word, every picture, every hidden comparison. You feel tired instantly, not because you worked hard, but because your thoughts never stopped working. You smile outside, but inside you are drowning. You look calm, but your thoughts are screaming. You want silence, but your mind is louder than thunder. And I know this feeling. I know it well. It was just like yesterday, when I could not stop my own mind. That is overthinking. Not loud like anger, not sharp like pain, but slow, quiet, deadly. It steals your peace before you notice. It takes your energy before you move. It writes false stories and then punishes you with them. But here is the truth. Overthinking is not your destiny. It is not who you are. It is only a habit, a shadow, a storm that can be calmed. And this journey is about learning how. Not through quick tips, not through empty advice, but through real stories, through science, through faith, through words that will teach you English and teach you strength. So let us begin. Chapter number 1, The Storm Inside. It begins as a whisper, just a small quiet thought, harmless at first, easy to ignore. But it returns, again and again, until it grows arms, legs, a body, a voice. And suddenly, it is no longer a whisper. It is a storm, raging in your mind, louder than the world outside. You lie in bed. The room is dark. Your body tired. But your mind is wide awake, replaying every word, every mistake, every fear. Did I say the wrong thing? What if they misunderstood me? Why didn't they answer my message? Maybe they don't care anymore. Your chest tightens. Your breathing shortens. Your heart beats faster, as if danger is near. But there is no danger, only thoughts. The brain, in this storm, does not know the difference between real threat and imagined fear. It releases stress. Cortisol flows through the body. The stomach feels heavy. The muscles tighten. The immune system weakens. Sleep breaks like glass. And when morning comes, you wake already tired, as if you ran a race, but never left your bed. This is the storm inside. It is invisible. No one can see it. You smile outside, but the battle is hidden. You speak calmly, but inside you are drowning. Overthinking writes stories. Stories that are not true. Illusions that feel real. Fears that never arrive. Movies that play only in your head. And yet, your body reacts, as if every scene is happening now. That is why you feel exhausted. without moving. But here is something you must remember. Storms are not permanent. No storm lasts forever. The mind may lie, but truth always returns. The whisper that became a storm can also become silence again. The same brain that creates fear can also create peace. The same thoughts that imprison you can also set you free. And this is the beginning. Learning to see the storm clearly, naming it for what it is, and remembering that you are stronger than your thoughts. Vocabulary highlights. Chapter 1. Whisper, a very soft sound or thought. Storm, violent disturbance in nature or mind. Exhaustion, extreme tiredness. Illusion, something that seems real but is not. Relief, the end of pain or worry. Reflection questions. Chapter 1. How does overthinking grow from a whisper into a storm? What happens to the body when the brain keeps racing with thoughts? Which vocabulary word means something that seems real but is not? Have you ever felt exhausted from thoughts even without moving? Chapter number 2. The body remembers. The brain is where it begins, but the body is where it stays. Overthinking does not end in thought. It travels. It moves through blood, through nerves, through muscles. You feel it in your head. A dull ache, a heavy weight pressing. The storm of thoughts becomes a storm of pain. You feel it in your stomach, tight, unsettled, like a knot that never unties. Food does not taste the same. Sometimes you eat too much. Sometimes you eat nothing at all. You feel it in your chest, the heart beating faster, as if you are running, even when you are sitting still. The breath short and shallow, the body preparing for danger that never comes. Science has a name for this: cortisol, the stress hormone, released again and again. Each time the mind circles, too much cortisol, and the body begins to break. Sleep disappears. Insomnia takes over. The eyes close, but the brain refuses to rest. You lie awake, counting the hours. The night feels endless, and morning arrives, with no energy left to give. Muscles tighten, shoulders rise, jaw clenches, back stiffens. The body remembers every thought and stores it as tension. And slowly, the body begins to believe the lies of the mind. I am not safe. I cannot rest. I am weak. But here is a truth that science agrees with, and faith has whispered for centuries. The body that breaks under stress can also heal under peace. The Quran says, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." Quran 13.28. The Bible says, "Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you." 1 Peter 5.7. Both remind us that peace is not found in control of every thought, but in surrender, in remembering that you are not alone in the weight you carry. When the brain calms, the body follows, the heart slows, the breath deepens, the muscles loosen, the stomach eases, sleep returns. The body remembers pain, yes, but it also remembers healing. It is waiting for silence. It is waiting for peace. And when you give it that gift, you will discover something powerful: resilience, the ability to recover, to stand again, to feel light again, to live not only in thoughts, but in truth. Vocabulary highlights. Chapter 2. Tension, tightness in muscles or emotions. Cortisol, the stress hormone released by the body. Insomnia, difficulty falling or staying asleep. Relief. Feeling of comfort when pain or stress ends. Resilience. The ability to recover after stress. Reflection questions, Chapter 2. What are 3 parts of the body that show the effects of overthinking? What is cortisol and why is it harmful in large amounts? Which vocabulary word means difficulty falling or staying asleep? How do both the Quran and the Bible guide people when they feel anxious? Chapter number 3. The Prison of What If. Sounds familiar, right? What and if. 2 small words, but together they build a prison. What if I fail? What if they laugh? What if I am not good enough? What if I lose everything? What if tomorrow never changes? Your brain whispers these questions, and soon they grow louder. Not just questions anymore, but chains. Chains that hold you still, while life moves forward without you. A student stands, ready to speak in class. The answer is in his mind, but his hand does not rise. What if I say it wrong? What if they laugh at my accent? So he stays silent. The chance is gone. A woman dreams of starting her own business. The idea excites her, but then the whispers begin. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I waste my time? So she waits. 1 month, then 1 year, and the dream fades. This is the power of what if. It creates a future that does not exist. It makes you feel the pain of failure before you even begin. Science calls it anticipation anxiety. The body reacts to imagined threats as if they are real. Heart racing, palms sweating, muscles tightening. You suffer now for something that has not even happened. But here is the truth. What if is an illusion. It is fear dressed as a question, and you are not required to answer it. Faith reminds us of this too. The Quran says, "Do not grieve over what has passed, and do not worry about what is to come. Allah is with those who are patient." Quran 9-40. The Bible says, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Matthew 6-34. Both teach the same lesson. The future is not yours to control. It is only yours to walk into, one step at a time. And here is the key. Replace what if with even if. Not, what if I fail? But, even if I fail, I will try again. Not, what if they laugh? But, even if they laugh, I will not be broken. Because what if is a prison, but even if is freedom. Freedom to live, freedom to act, freedom to be. So the next time the whisper begins, remember this. Your future does not belong to fear. Your future belongs to your courage. Vocabulary highlights, Chapter 3. Prison. A place where freedom is taken away. Chains. Metal links used to tie or restrict movement. Anticipation. The act of looking forward, often with worry. Illusion. Something that seems real but is not. Courage. Strength to face fear or difficulty. Reflection questions, Chapter 3. How can, what if, questions act like chains? What does science call the stress of imagined futures? Which vocabulary word means strength to face fear? How do both the Quran and the Bible teach us to look at tomorrow? Chapter number 4. The Weight of Perfection. Overthinking has a close friend. Its name is perfection. Together they whisper, again and again, not yet, not ready, not good enough. You want to speak, but you wait. You want to act, But you pause. You want to begin. But the weight of perfection holds you still. A student writes, then erases, writes again, erases again. The page never finished. The idea never complete. The work never shared. A young creator dreams of starting a channel to tell her story. She plans, she prepares, she collects equipment, but then the thoughts arrive. What if the video is not perfect? What if my English is not perfect? What if people laugh at me? So she waits and waits until her dream dies quietly. This is the weight of perfection. It makes the mind heavy and the future empty. Science explains this too. Perfection is linked to anxiety, to procrastination, to burnout. The more you chase flawless, the less you finish. And the less you finish, the more you feel like a failure. But perfection is a trick. It does not exist. It is only fear, wearing a beautiful mask. Faith reminds us of this truth. The Prophet Muhammad said, actions are but by intentions, not by perfection, not by flawless outcomes, but by the heart that begins. The Bible says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12-9. Not in strength, not in flawless words, but in weakness, because weakness shows our need for God. Both faiths agree. It is not perfection that matters most. It is intention. It is effort. It is courage to begin. Perfection says, you are not ready. Progress says, you are ready enough. Perfection says, do it perfectly or not at all. Progress says, do it honestly and learn along the way. And here is the secret. Nobody connects with perfect. People connect with real words, real stories, real effort, real growth. So put down the weight of perfection. Lift the lighter gift of progress. Because done is better than perfect, and real is better than flawless. Vocabulary highlights, Chapter 4. Perfection. The state of being flawless. Procrastination. Delaying action or decisions. Burnout. Extreme tiredness from stress or overwork. Intention. Purpose or reason behind an action. Progress. Forward movement toward a goal. Reflection questions, Chapter 4. How does perfectionism keep people trapped in overthinking? Which vocabulary word means delaying action or decisions? What do both Islam and Christianity say about intention and weakness? Why is progress more powerful than perfection? Chapter number 5, The Silent Nights. The day is loud. People speaking, cars moving, tasks demanding your focus. But when night arrives, silence comes. The world sleeps. And this is when your thoughts begin to scream. You lie in bed. The lights are off. Your body heavy with exhaustion. But your mind refuses to rest. It replays conversations again and again. Why did I say that? Why didn't I say more? Did they misunderstand me? It jumps into tomorrow. What if I fail the exam? What if my boss is angry? What if everything goes wrong? Your eyes close, but your brain stays wide awake. You turn to the left. You turn to the right. The pillow grows warm. The clock keeps moving. And still, sleep will not come. This is insomnia, the child of overthinking. It steals the night and poisons the day that follows. Science explains it clearly. When the brain believes danger is near, it releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Your nervous system stays in fight or flight. Even in the dark, even in silence, the body prepares for a battle that does not exist. The heart beats faster, the muscles stay tense, the breath grows shallow. The storm of thoughts keeps the door of sleep locked. And so the night, that should be a time of peace, becomes a battlefield. But the night does not have to be your enemy. Faith offers gentle medicine. The Quran says, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find rest." Quran 13-28. The Prophet Muhammad taught simple words before sleep. Dhikr, supplications, reciting verses like Ayat al-Kursi, a reminder that the mind is not alone, that the heart can find calm. The Bible says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." Psalm 4-8. A prayer whispered before bed, a surrender of tomorrow, a trust that the night belongs to God. Both paths agree. Peace comes, not from solving every problem before bed, but from letting go, from placing the weight into hands greater than yours. And when the mind releases, the body follows, the heart slows, the muscles soften, the breath deepens, sleep finally arrives. The silent night, that once felt like a prison, can become a sanctuary again, not a place of torment, but a place of healing. And when you wake, with real rest in your body, you will feel it. The difference is everything. Your mood lighter, your thoughts clearer, your energy stronger. Overthinking may steal nights, but it does not own them. The night can still be yours, a place where silence is not scary, but sacred. Vocabulary highlights, Chapter 5. Insomnia, difficulty falling or staying asleep. Restless, unable to relax or stay still. Cycle, a series of events repeated regularly. Calm, peaceful, without stress or worry. Release, letting go of something held inside. Reflection questions, Chapter 5. Why does overthinking often grow louder at night? Which hormone keeps the brain awake when it believes danger is near? How do Islam and Christianity both suggest finding peace before sleep? Have you ever experienced insomnia because of racing thoughts? Chapter number 6. The Cage of Comparison. Overthinking often hides behind one silent habit: comparison. You look at yourself, then you look at someone else, and suddenly, your peace disappears. A student scrolls through social media, her friend smiling in Paris, another friend starting a new job, another buying a new car. She looks at her own life and whispers, "Why am I not there yet?" A worker listens as his colleague is praised. Applause fills the room. He lowers his head and thinks, "Why am I never enough?" A young man holds his exam paper. He passed, but his friend scored higher. His smile fades. "What if I am not as smart? What if I will always be behind?" This is the cage of comparison. It traps the mind. It whispers lies. And once inside, the brain begins to overthink every move. Science explains this clearly. Social comparison lowers self-esteem. It triggers the stress response. The brain believes you are in danger, not from an enemy outside, but from the fear of being less. Cortisol rises, anxiety grows, and depression often follows. But here is the truth. Comparison is a cage, and gratitude is the key. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Look at those below you, not those above you, for this will remind you of the blessings of Allah upon you." Hadith, Muslim. The Bible says, each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else. Galatians 6-4. Both paths teach the same wisdom. Do not measure your worth by the life of another. Look instead at your own blessings, your own progress, your own small victories. Because here is a secret. The people you compare yourself to are comparing themselves to someone else. The cycle never ends until you choose to end it. Gratitude ends it. Naming the gifts you already hold, breath in your lungs, food on your table, a heart that still beats, dreams that are still alive. When you focus on your blessings, the cage begins to open. The mind finds space again. The storm of thoughts grows quiet, and peace returns. So remember this. Your journey is yours, not theirs. Your timing is yours, not theirs. Your story is yours, and no comparison can ever rewrite it. Vocabulary highlights, Chapter 6. Comparison. Measuring yourself against others. Cage. A structure that traps and restricts freedom. Esteem. Respect and value, especially for oneself. Gratitude. Thankfulness for what one has. Blessing. A gift or favor from God. Reflection questions, Chapter 6. How does comparison create more overthinking? Which vocabulary word means respect and value for yourself? What do both Islam and Christianity say about comparison? What is one blessing you can notice in your life today? Chapter number 7. The Voices We Believe, Solutions. Not every thought is true, but the mind makes it feel real. You hear a whisper, "They don't like you," and your chest tightens. You believe it instantly. But here is the truth. You don't have to believe every voice. You can choose. You can test. You can replace lies with truth. Solution 1. Question the voice. When a thought arrives, stop and ask, is this fact or fear? Do I have proof, or is this just my mind guessing? Most thoughts have no evidence. They are shadows pretending to be storms. Solution 2. Speak it out loud. Thoughts feel big in silence, but when you say them out loud, they shrink. Try it. Say, "I think I will fail." Listen to your own words. Then ask, is that really true? Or just fear? Your voice exposes the lie. Solution 3. Replace with better words. The brain listens to repetition. If you repeat fear, it grows. If you repeat truth, it grows. So when your mind says, "I am not enough," answer with, "I am learning. I am growing. I am stronger than before." Solution 4. Anchor in faith. The Quran says, "Indeed, over my servants you will have no authority." Quran 15-42. Not every whisper has power. You can reject it. The Bible says, "Take captive every thought, to make it obedient to Christ." 2 Corinthians 10-5. Not every thought deserves freedom. Some must be captured. Faith reminds us, your worth is not built by whispers. It is built by God's truth. Solution 5. Train discernment daily. Write your thoughts in a notebook. Mark the ones that help. Mark the ones that hurt. Over time, you will learn to recognize the voices. You will see the difference between fear and fact. Because here is the freedom. Your thoughts are visitors. You decide which ones stay. Vocabulary highlights, Chapter 7, Solution. Discern. To recognize and understand clearly. Anchor. Something that holds you steady. Proof. Evidence that shows something is true. Replace. To take one thing out and put another in. authority, power or control over something. Reflection questions, Chapter 7, Solution. What is one question you can ask to test whether a thought is true? Why does saying a thought out loud make it weaker? How do both Islam and Christianity guide us in handling false thoughts? Which positive phrase could you use to replace "I am not enough"? Living beyond overthinking. Overthinking is not who you are. It is only a habit, a shadow, a storm that can be calmed. You have walked through the whispers, the storms, the nights without sleep, and you have learned something powerful. Your thoughts are not facts. Your fears are not the future. Your mind is not your enemy. But peace does not come only from silence. It comes from living. When you spend time with family, you leave the prison of your own mind. Their laughter reminds you that joy is louder than fear. Their presence reminds you that you are not alone. When you jump and do something unplanned, the cage of perfection breaks. You prove to yourself that life is not about control. It is about experience. And sometimes the best healing comes from the moments you never scheduled. When you step into nature, something changes. The trees do not overthink. The river does not replay yesterday. The wind does not worry about tomorrow. And slowly, your mind learns their rhythm. Calm, present, free. Science agrees. Studies show that family connection, spontaneous play, and time in nature all reduce cortisol. They lower stress. They bring the body back to balance. Faith agrees too. The Quran says, "And it is He who made for you the night to rest in, and the day giving sight. Indeed, in that are signs for a people who listen." Quran 10-67. The Bible says, "He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul." Psalm 23:2-3. Both remind us, peace is not only inside. It is around you, waiting to be seen, waiting to be felt. So here is your closing truth. Overthinking may visit, but it no longer has to stay. Because you have tools now. You have awareness. You have faith. You have life itself. Go live it, not in the prison of thoughts, but in the presence of love. Not in endless control, but in unplanned freedom. Not in fear of tomorrow, but in the gift of today. Your family, your laughter, your nature, your God, they are louder than your fears. You are free now, and this is your beginning. Vocabulary highlights, ending. Spontaneous, happening without planning. Balance, a state of stability or calm. Restore, to bring back strength or peace. Presence, the state of being here, now. Freedom, the power to live without being trapped. Reflection questions, ending. How does spending time with family reduce overthinking? Why is doing something unplanned a powerful way to break perfectionism? What can we learn from nature about living calmly? Which of today's solutions will you try first?